All right, so this is what I'm going to call a genius way to make money from home using AI. And it all revolves around the AI agency, right? And that's what our process is. Process is we are going to work with local businesses, right? Local businesses and offer them things that they're already looking for, that they already want, that they already need. Okay. And so in this instance, our focus is websites. Let me see if this thing's actually showing up. Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. It's actually websites. Why websites? Websites because every business wants one. But more importantly, every business wants one, but more importantly, every business thinks they need one. And that's probably true, right? Every business needs some kind of storefront that people can, find information about them on, right? So every business thinks they need a website, but it's actually true. They should actually have a website. Okay. So that's two distinctions. That's a distinction though, that I want you to understand. They want one, but they also think they need one. So regardless if they do need one or not, they all have in their head that I need to get a website. So not every business thinks that about services. It's important to understand that. Not every business says, I need to get Facebook ads, right? I need to get SEO. I need to get email marketing. Thinks they need services. Some businesses do. Some businesses understand, like, hey, I need to be out there. I need to advertise, and digital marketing is the way to do that. But there's way more businesses that think that they need a website than there are that think they need services. So as an AI agency, and I'll get to the AI part in just a second, we want to cater to what our target audience actually wants, right? You give them what they want and then sell them what they need. We know as marketers, right? Because as an agency, what is an agency? What is a marketing consultant, an agency, or whatever you want to call us, is we work with businesses, typically local businesses, and help them get new customers. We do that through advertising. We use marketing services to help them get new customers because that's what works. That's what brings in customers. Talking about the website for a second, just because I put a website out on the internet doesn't mean magically people see it and come flooding in, right? And that's what a lot of businesses think. And again, we use that to our advantage to help them by selling them something they already want, the website. But then ultimately, we're going to use that as the foot in the door to give them what they need, which is the actual services, which is the actual advertising and marketing, right? So that's all that's happening here. We're just using psychology to help the business and do it the easiest, fastest way possible by giving them something that they're already looking for, that they already want. We give them that, then they're happy, they're excited, they're glad they got the thing that they wanted. Then, as the trusted advisor that we are now, because they've already bought from us and they're happy, now as their trusted advisor, we can say, hey, well, now that that's done, what are you doing to bring in new customers? What are you doing to get customers to look at that website? I have some things that I also can do that can help with that as well. And so now what we've done is we opened up the door to sell marketing services, right? And the cool thing is so with our AI agency, websites equal a one-time fee. We'll just say fee. one time, we'll say charge, one time charge, right? And what are we typically getting there? The cool thing is we're getting anywhere from $500 to $3,000 easy. And the reason why we're getting that is because websites on average go from $5,000 to $20,000. They're already out there paying money, and there's a market already out there for websites that are way more expensive than this. But this range allows us to get started. If I'm not that confident and I'm working with a smaller business and I'm like, well, maybe they don't have money, I can start with 500 bucks. But then also I'm eventually going to talk to a dentist or somebody like that who has plenty of money, who's used to spending $10,000 to $20,000 on their previous website or other things. They're not going to blink an eye at $3,000. And I'll eventually, as my confidence improves, be able to charge more for that, or just keep it flexible based on who I'm working with. But the awesome thing is that's a one-time charge, but it's a good amount. That's a nice big amount. Like if I get $1,000, just $1,000, if someone gives you $1,000, that's pretty awesome. No one's going to complain about that. Whether they give me another 1,000 later or not, I'm going to be happy with $1,000. But with this model, I get to add on my marketing services, which is reoccurring charges, right? And that means, and based on our services, right, whether it's email marketing all the way up to lead gen, I'm getting anywhere from basically $300 a month to, $1,500 a month. That's reoccurring. So the power of this model is I get my foot in the door here. With a service that can give me a nice big chunk of money up front. And regardless if nothing else happens, I walk away with a nice score, right? I do that a couple times a month. I'm sitting pretty, and that's an awesome side hustle working from home, right? Or on the side, maybe I have a job, maybe I have a couple jobs, maybe I have some part-time jobs, whatever. This extra money coming from simply what is now a side hustle that I can eventually add on other services to and create an actual business with, right? I get my one-time fee, and then all of a sudden, with every new client that I sell a website to, I can tack on anywhere from $300 to $1,500 a month. And I have a handful of services, right? We have reputation management, we have email marketing, text marketing, message marketing, right? We have lead gen, we have SEO. If there's a business that gets all of those things, I'm looking at like $2,500 a month reoccurring. So imagine that I sell a client $1,000 website, and then next thing I know, I'm also getting $2,500 a month from that client. That's a lot of money. I don't need many clients to be very comfortable with this as a side hustle or this as my primary business, right? Side hustles are typically something that I can make some money with, right, on the side. But the power of this is I can turn that into an actual legit business that I do full time if I want to, right? People like, people like Anash, he's like, man, he's created a business with this, but he still does it essentially as a side hustle. He still has his regular job because he likes what he's doing as a day job. It works for him. He's making great money and it fits his lifestyle. He's doing this on the side. So you have complete flexibility with this. But the cool thing is it doesn't take many clients to really turn this from a side hustle to a business. Okay. And so what is the process, right? Let's just go through it. So we understand it all starts with the website. So that's where all we have to focus on. Because once I sell the website and deliver the website, then everything else is just conversations to add on other services as it makes sense and as necessary, right? Or as it's necessary, as the business thinks it's necessary, right? So that process is easier after that because it's just conversation. Okay, well, I have these other things here I can offer you. So it all starts with the foot in the door. So let's just go through what is the foot in the door, right? Well, the first part is find someone looking for a website or clearly in need of a website. So one thing to understand is we don't have to find people who don't have a website, right? In fact, your majority of the people that you will sell a website to already have a website. However, it's old. They got it a long time ago and they haven't updated it at all. And it's really old and they want something new and fresh. They threw it together because they didn't have much money back then. They were just getting started. So they used GoDaddy website builder or some kind of crazy thing like that. That's just this crappy, clunky website. But now they're making money. They're an established business. Now they're ready for an actual real website, right? So those are the more common scenarios because most people, when they get going, they get a website up somehow. So we're not really worried about them. What we are looking for is people who fit those other categories. Right. So we're just finding someone who's looking for a website. So meaning they're already asking, we know they're asking for it, or we can clearly see that they might be in need of one. Okay. And then all we're going to do is use AI, where AI comes in, use AI to build them a demo website. Cool thing about using AI is very, very good at doing certain things. And one of them is coding and stuff like that. And there's tons of great website builders. Obviously we use Lovable. So we'll look at that and it takes minutes. I don't need no tech skills needed. In fact, if I know how to just simply type words, then I can do this. All right. So we're going to use AI to build them a website. And then 3, reach out to them offering the website. And we'll use AI for that too. Use AI for outreach message. Another great thing that AI is good for is creating copy and emails and stuff like that. So all we're going to do, we're going to find someone who's already looking for a website or is clearly in need of one. We're going to use AI to build a simple demo website to show them, right? Call this results first strategy. Meaning we're not going to say what we can do. We're going to just show them. Everyone else is saying, oh, I can do this and this. We're going to say, hey, here, I've already done this. Here's what it is, right? There's a psychology in that because if I just tell them, hey, I can build you this magnificent website, they have to be like, well, this website, they have a million things in their head of what could and couldn't be. If I build a demo site and show it to them, it's the same thing of when you see an advertisement or an ad somewhere for clothes or something, and you see the person or the sunglasses, they're wearing these cool sunglasses. You start picturing yourself wearing those sunglasses because you can see it, it's tangible. This is no different. We're playing on that same psychology that works on you. We're using it on businesses because on the business owners, because it works for everybody. We're going to give them a website, a demo website. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a website based on their niche and industry, and they're going to see it. And then they can picture themselves. Ooh, I might put the logo over here. Oh yeah, I like this color here. They're now imagining them that being their website. It's like them imagining them wearing the sunglasses. They're imagining what they look like wearing the sunglasses. They're now imagining what their business looks like as in this website, right? So we're playing off that same psychology. So we're showing them, and it's a results first as well. So we're not telling them we could do it. We said, hey, we've done it. And then we're simply reaching out to show them that, hey, here's what we put together for you. Let's have a conversation. Okay. And again, we're going to use AI to put that message together. All right. So very, very, very simple process. And let's just go through it really quick to show you what that looks like. Okay. All right. So one of the easiest ways to do this is if I want to find someone who's potentially in need of a website, right? I'm just going to go to Google and I'm simply going to search any kind of niche, right? Now, if I'm already in a group or something that I know people that work in a certain niche, I may just pick one of those niches because then I know someone who could help me talk to that specific type of industry. And if not, I can just flip a coin. Contractors are always good. people like med spas, dentists, there's all kinds of people. Any industry works. Okay. So in this example, let's just do a med spa. Okay. So I'm just going to search. So let's go med spas and let's do Miami. Okay. It doesn't matter where it is. We're going to go to Miami, Florida. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and find the businesses here. I want to find this map pack. The reason why is you can see here, it already tells me whether they have a website or not. And then all I'm doing, if I want to keep this process super simple, and this, all I want is a process that I can wake up and do every single day, no matter what. Like, I don't have to think. I can just wake up and do these actions and not have to think and not have extra things in my brain. This is a one simple method to do this. I can go to maps and literally just scroll until I find people that don't have this website listed. I can offer a website like I talked about to any of these people. It's just, I'm going to have to click on this and just look at their website if I really want to. Okay. And I can try to find some that are poor quality. What differentiates poor quality to good quality? Just look at it. Does it look good to you or not? If it looks good, cool. Maybe you can move on or offer it anyway. You could just say, look, I'm just going to go down the list because I don't know whether this person's thinking in their head that they've been wanting to update their website, even though I think it looks good. You can't underestimate the thoughts of business owners. So I could easily do that. But let's just go for the simple, easy, low-hanging fruit. All I'm going to do, you're probably not going to find it on the page one, but I'm going to hit next. And all I'm doing, I can do a quick scroll. Okay. And again, this is something I have a VA doing, or again, in my spare time, I can do this 24/7. It doesn't matter if I have 20 part-time jobs and 20 family members. Anytime I have available, I can come and do this. Okay. And so right here, Abella Med Spa. Okay. And here they are on page, whatever this is, page 4, right? And there's actually several. Here's another one, Hermes Med Spa. These are people that don't have a website listed. Now, it doesn't mean they don't have a website. It just means for whatever reason, Google didn't pick one up or detect one. So I can easily just start with them. And that allows me to have a message saying, hey, I was on Google Maps. I noticed you didn't have a website. Maybe it's hidden somewhere. But anyway, I went ahead and put together one for you just in case you didn't. So let's just go to Hermes Med Spa. Okay. All I need to do is click this. And I've, now seen that Hermes Med Spa on Google My Business doesn't have a website listed. Okay. So one, I found a business that potentially needs or wants a website. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to find this from, they usually all have this like little description thing. And now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go to Lovable, lovable.dev, right? And now all I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and I'm going to copy this first. Copy this. And then go back to Lovable. And now I'm going to say, please build a website for the following business. Please build a professional. I'm just going to keep it simple. Now, again, I can be very technical with this, and in our kind of program, we give you the prompts and stuff like that, but I can keep it this simple. For the following business, Hermes Med Spa, blah, blah, blah. Look, all I have to do is paste what they wrote. I'm going to go back there really quick and just grab their address and their hours and their phone. Okay, let's go back in. I'm just going to space down and paste that. I'm just going to put it like this. Okay, so I have their hours, their address, phone, and their description. And then all I'm going to do is just hit enter. And so now Lovable is going to work its magic, and it's going to evaluate this information. And again, I don't have to wonder how it's working. I don't have to be some technical wizard. I don't have to be some coder. It's just going to do it. It's just magic. AI is smarter, way smarter than I'll ever be. So it's going to fill it out. It's already telling me, oh yeah, I'm going to make it nice turquoise. Look, it already says, hey, I'm going to make it like Miami feeling, and it's going to do all this cool stuff. Okay. And so now what I'm going to do, this may take a minute or two to build. Okay. So let me build this. So now it's working. It's doing its thing. Okay. Now I'm going to take advantage of this moment. If I were going to speed things up, I'm going to go over ChatGPT. And now all I'm going to say is, I am trying to sell websites, professional websites to local businesses that may be in need of one. I am scrolling Google Maps and looking for profiles that do not list a website, and then building them a demo website that I want to send to them in an email, offering them the website. Please put together a high converting cold email script for me to include the demo website link in, and offer them and try to get a conversation started about them buying the website. I am using a results first approach by showing them what I can do by building using the demo website. Here is the info about, here is the business info of the business I want the email to be for. So now I can just paste all the stuff that I did in Lovable. Let me just grab it really quick. All I'm doing is grabbing that same thing, same description. I don't want all this address stuff and times. I don't need all that. What I want is this. Okay. And so I know that was kind of a long thing, but I want you to understand, all I did was just talk. I just said, I didn't have to make this all technical or like professional as like I'm some professional copywriter or something. I'm just telling it exactly what I just straight, like I'm talking to another human being. Like I just talk like I'm talking to another human being, telling them what's going on and what I want. And the cool thing is AI understands that, and it's going to put it into a nice, like, hey, I know exactly what you mean. Let me give you something that's going to be phenomenal and awesome for this. Okay. And so then I also want you to understand is when I do the next one, I don't have to retype all this stuff. I'm going to have this one chat open that's going to produce emails for every business. Next time, for the next business, I'm just going to copy and say, hey, now I need another email for this business. And I'm just going to paste. Now I need another email for this business because it already understands what I'm doing. Okay, so let's just go ahead and submit this so that our email is ready. I'll show you build that because it's going to be super quick. Yeah, it already knows what's going on. It tells me, hey, pick one. I can even ask it if I'm confused, like which subject line do you think would get the most attention or would be most likely to be opened, right? I can just say that, right? And then I can adjust and tweak this as I need. Like, I don't know the owner's name, maybe, right? I can say, hey, I don't know the owner's name. What would I say instead, right? I can just keep having a conversation with AI to produce, a great cold email script or cold email template. And look, here's what it gives me. Awesome. It gives me subject lines. And then it's telling me exactly, it gives me a link spot to put my website link, all this stuff. Look, at tips to boost conversions, add a little Loom video walking through the demo, which would be awesome and great. All this stuff would take just minutes. Like the website's done now while I've been talking. So it's taking me longer to describe this than it actually is to actually do it. And it's saying, hey, do you want me to give you a follow-up sequence? So if they don't answer that one, I can give you 3 more emails that you can then schedule out at certain intervals, which I can ask it, well, when would I send the next email? I can ask it. I don't have to know any of this stuff. And all I'm going to do is just end up just copying and pasting this email. And then what I'm going to do, let's go back and take a look at our website that's already built. Okay, I can close that so I can actually see it. And there it is, a beautiful website already done. That again, I can make we can make tons of changes on this. Okay, I can say, hey, I want a page for each service, right? And AI, this will build it and put all the content there for me. Okay, but remember, all I'm doing is showing the business this. If they want this website, once I send the email and we have a conversation, we'll customize it to them. And if you're like, well, Jason, I don't know website design. I don't know how to do all that stuff. You don't have to, because you know who does? AI. So AI is going to do all the work and all the edits for me. Okay. And all I have to do is come up here to publish, and I have a link right here. Okay. Once I publish it, this link is live. I can grab this link, put it in the cold email script, and send it. Okay. I can also put it on a custom domain if I really wanted to. I can have a domain that's like yourdemowebsite.com, and I can have this. I can actually have Lovable. I can have it build each website on its own part of that domain. So I can use one domain, yourdemowebsite.com, and then this one can be yourdemowebsite.com. And then say the next business, right, that I do one for is the one up here that we looked at, Indie Med Spa, right? Then I can do the same process for Indie Med Spa and then go back to Lovable and build a site for Indie Med Spa. And then I can have the domain be indie.yourDemoWebsite.com, whatever. So I can have them all in one domain if I want. So I don't have to keep buying domains, but that way it also doesn't show Lovable. If I'm worried about like, well, what if they discover Lovable? I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Okay. Cause there's an answer for everything and it's all taken care of for me. And then literally all I have to do is repeat this process every single day. Like I just wake up and do this. Is every person going to want the website? No, but that's not the point. That's not how any business works, right? Just think about you in your life. How many times you've been in a buying decision? 100% of the time you did not buy the thing. There's been plenty of times you said, no, not interested in it. But businesses don't need to survive by selling every single potential customer that they talk to. You just need a certain percent. And we already looked at the numbers and know that the percent that you need is very, very, very small. Whenever I'm selling these websites, anywhere from $500 to $3,000. Imagine I just sell this for $3,000, right? Imagine I sell this for $3,000. And then next thing I know, I'm also adding on $300 to $2,000 a month in services. Well, if I got $3,000 and then the following month, I got $2,000 a month going forward, this one client alone is what, $3,000 month one. And then what, 22,000. So like $25,000 in the year from one client. My math might be a little off on that, but 2,000 times 11, right? That's $22,000, I believe, plus the initial 3,000 in month one from selling the website. That's $25,000 from one client. What if I just got 3 clients? And next thing I know, I have $75,000 that I made this year from selling just 3 total businesses in the entire world, a website for $3,000, when some websites go up to all the way up to $20,000. And I get $2,000 a month in marketing services for them that helps them get new customers. Is it going to work out that perfect? No, but what I'm showing you is the numbers don't have to be that high. You don't need to work with 200 people, right? I don't need to sell 100 people this subscription. I just simply work with a handful of clients every single year, and I'm making pretty good money. And it's no wonder that people are able to turn this into someone who's making a couple grand a month, all the way into multiple 6-figure businesses from this, because the process is simple. The need is there, and it's just rinse and repeat. I can wake up every single day and I can do this. I don't have to guess. It's just repeat this process over and over and over and over again. And the more I do it, the better I'm going to get, People will respond. And again, someone responds, I don't know what to say. I can take their response, put it in the chat GPT and say, hey, someone just responded to this email saying this. What do I say back? And I can literally have AI coach me all the way through the process, including selling and collecting the money. And it's that simple.